Hello everyone and welcome back guys to round 21 of season 1 of the F1 2020 McLaren driver career mode. Yes, 2 races to go of the season. If you missed out the last one from Mexico, definitely go back and check it out. It was a very memorable race for the team. Obviously there will be spoilers in 3, 2, 1 now. So last time out then, the team McLaren, our first 1-2 in what, at least 8 years in a Formula 1 there. We finally finished on the top step of the podium alongside our teammate Lando Norris there. Our 3rd win of the season, the 4th win of the season for the team as well there. Lando's 4th podium as well, as I think we've had 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9 podiums over the course of the year. And we've finished every single race in the points up until now. But 2 races to go. We've got 24 points over Lewis Hamilton. You can see he has had 4 DNFs since the Belgian Grand Prix. 5 DNFs over the course of the season. He's been very unlucky that he's not been able to battle it out more and more for the World Championship. But yeah, 2 rounds to go, 24 points. Let's dive in then here to the Brazilian Grand Prix. So here we are then, qualifying day for the Brazilian Grand Prix. Again, the car does feel quite good around this circuit, but obviously we'll wait and see as to how well qualifying goes. We've had 2 third places even in a row recently. Myself and Max Verstappen have been able to split the Mercedes on 2 of the last qualifying sessions in the Americas. Hopefully we can make that 3 from 3 here today. Down in towards the first corner then. Let's just try and keep it nice and tidy through the Senna S. This car is so satisfying to drive, where it's just so stable, but also obviously got good top-end speed and good aero. It really does feel like a very decent all-rounder at the moment in Formula 1. No particular weak characteristics to this thing as we head through the end of the first sector. As soon as I say no weak characteristics, we get a little bit loose and lively as we head back up the hill in towards the tight, twisty, technical middle sector of the lap. Hasn't been the best start to this run as we just snag the front inside wheel in towards the next hairpin. Come on, get the power down. Struggling a little bit then, clearly, with wheel spin. Not too sure if we're just trying to overdrive the car just a bit or what, as we head down in towards the final proper corner of the lap. That is, of course, Sao. Again, just missing the apex there ever so slightly. Trying to get the power on the exit. We haven't had a particularly good run out of the final corner, and it's not going to be the best qualifying lap in the world then, it appears. DRS has been activated up towards the finish line. I think it's only going to be 6th place then for the Brazilian Grand Prix there. New world champion Bottas on pole though, so a very good job done by him. But yeah, not the perfect lap by ourselves, but we're still in the mix.
With qualifying finished, it's time to remind ourselves of our top 3. Bottas, Hamilton and Max Verstappen. With qualifying complete, all that remains is the main event. We'll be live and uninterrupted for the Grand Prix tomorrow, so make sure you join us then.
I'll be honest, 10th and a half off the front row isn't exactly too bad there. And I mean, if we'd found 20 thousandths of a second, we would have been up in 4th place as well. Mercedes seemed to have a little bit of extra pace this weekend. Ferrari seemed back on the money as well. Obviously, we've got to be careful of those guys before the end of the season. I mean, the 44 points we scored last week were good, but maybe, just maybe, Ferrari can have a bit of a resurgence as well. But 6th place on the grid, ready for the Brazilian Grand Prix. Let's do this thing.
Welcome along then to the place where heroes and history are made. It's where the 2008 title was decided in the final corner. And it's the place, a year later, that Jenson Button stormed through from 14th on the grid to claim his one and only Drivers' Championship. It's Interlagos, and it's time for the Brazilian Grand Prix. It's an unusual anti-clockwise race here at Interlagos, where the Sao Paulo locals are packed into the grandstands at each of the 15 corners around this classic 2.7-mile circuit. 2 very fast sections bookend the famous and highly technical Sector 2, where getting a good run out of Sao into one of the 2 DRS zones will be the key to any overtaking prospects today. Anthony Davidson also joins me in the commentary box today. Now, I want to talk to you about Valtteri Bottas. What a season they've had. A well-deserved championship victory, and the pressure now surely off with the title already in the bag.
It really is well-deserved. I wouldn't say it's been a faultless title challenge, but certainly one that has been consistent and well-managed. Here's hoping they let off a bit of steam today and give us an exciting race.
With the race minutes away from starting, here's what today's grid rundown looks like. Good job yesterday from Valtteri Bottas. The Finn starts from pole position, and it's Lewis Hamilton alongside. Looking at the rest of today's grid, we have Verstappen, Leclerc, Mr. Monaco, and Norris, Perez, Ocon, Albon, and Sebastian Vettel, Ricciardo, Kvyat, Lance Stroll, and Gasly, Grosjean, Giovinazzi, Kevin Magnussen, and George Russell, Raikkonen, and Nicholas Latifi. And with lights out just moments away, it's time to go down to the track.
So here we are then on the grid, ready for the penultimate race of the season here from Brazil. As always, a fairly simple one-stop, as always. Soft to medium tyres as well here. We could mathematically guarantee P2 in this Grand Prix today, as long as obviously we beat Lewis Hamilton in this Grand Prix. But, yeah, that's not my biggest worry in the world. You know, we got Abu Dhabi. Hopefully, as long as we don't have two absolute mares of Grand Prix, if we get two podiums, then we're guaranteed to do it. If we get a podium and a fourth, we're guaranteed to do it as well. So things are looking good with two races to go. As long as I don't do anything stupid, we should be okay there. We've actually moved up one place as well on the grid, as Sebastian Vettel has got a 5-place grid drop as well. I'm guessing for a gearbox change, I think. I don't really know for sure. But anyway, 18 laps ahead of us here at the Autodromo Interlagos, a truly iconic Formula 1 circuit. The 5 red lights are coming on now, and it's lights out, and away we go. Trying to get as little wheel spin as possible there. Lando gets off to an absolutely brilliant start as we head down in towards turn 1. I saw a Renault front wing as well there through the first corner. But yeah, Lando straight past us as we slam the door shut on Esteban Ocon out of the first turn there. But the top 5 really trying to make moves. Look at Lando just going for it. Down in towards turn 4 there, up the inside of Max Verstappen there. Charles Leclerc up into the podium places. Can't remember the last time we saw Ferrari get that, but Lando, an absolute worldly of a start, straight from 6th up into 4th place off the start of this Grand Prix there as we head up the hill for the first time, trying to stick all over the back of Max Verstappen here as we head in towards the S's. But yeah, Lando, a dream start after getting one of his best results of the season last time. Maybe now we're going to see a bit of a resurgence of form from our teammate, who's spent a lot of this season being rather quiet. I'll be honest, he's always done a good job, he's always got decent points, but yeah, never quite has had too many sort of big standout races here. Out of the final corner though, to finish off lap 1, maybe we can get a good run on Max Verstappen as well. Yeah, that Red Bull, I wonder if he's... Whoa! Max Verstappen there, just not giving us the room around the outside, but we do still manage to get the momentum around the Red Bull man, so we're back up to where we started in this Grand Prix. Verstappen going backwards, down 3 places off the start of this Grand Prix, but Charles Leclerc, Lando Norris and myself all able to get round him as the Mercedes still lead the way at the front. Verstappen trying to apply some pressure. Don't quite think he's going to be able to make anything happen. Coming towards the end of lap 3, really trying to apply a lot of pressure now to our teammate Lando Norris, who had that worldly of a start but hasn't been so strong over the last couple of laps. We're running rather low on ERS though on this lap. I've really used a lot of that, but yeah, Lando, no idea how he hasn't picked up the DRS off Charles Leclerc in front of him. But it will give us a chance to look to the outside as we head back down in towards the first corner. Side by side with our teammate. We do try to give him the run, obviously, or the room even, sorry, I should say. And we get the run round the outside through the centre S. We're now back up into P4 then of this Grand Prix as Lando does think about having a look at the inside. Is he going to send it? Oh, he thinks about it. Don't want to do obviously what Ferrari did in the real life 2019 Grand Prix. We do run a little bit wide trying to give him the room. But we hold on for now as Charles Leclerc, Ferrari, been nowhere in the second half of this season. Suddenly now, trying to give Mercedes a bit of a run for their money again. Coming towards the end of lap 5, the gap to Charles Leclerc is coming down just a little bit at the moment. But yeah, the top 3 all seem very, very quick as our consistency at the moment. Looking rather good. Setting, I think, our 3rd lap in a row there. In around the 108.6, 108.7 mark. But yeah, Charles Leclerc, the gap just now dips under a second. But Bottas and Hamilton still pulling away at the front. Oh, we got yellow flags out. Oh, it is Max Verstappen, I think. I think Verstappen's struggling towards the mid-pack there. Yeah, there we go, Max Verstappen. He definitely had issues then at the start of this Grand Prix there, and heartbreak for the Dutchman as he looked to try and solidify P5 in the Drivers' World Championship. That's looking really, really good for Lando, though, in that little battle. Obviously, Seb with grid penalties, Max Verstappen out of this Brazilian Grand Prix as well there. Things are looking up for Lando as we're now 4th and 5th. Well, we're still 4th and 5th in this Grand Prix, but yeah, things looking good as we make a lot of inroads on Charles Leclerc, who really seems to be dropping back from the Mercs. Got a really good run on Charles Leclerc there, obviously just gone past Max Verstappen's abandoned car to the outside of the Ferrari as we head back down towards turn 1. And yeah, look at the overspeed we got over Charles Leclerc. That is absolutely insane as we head down in towards the first corner there. Ferrari, obviously this is still, it's always going to be post-patch now. I don't know how we could go back and revert it. But yeah, Ferrari still don't quite have the top end speed. As you can see, Charles Leclerc with DRS not really making any inroads on us. But we're back up into P3. Where we tend to find ourselves is just behind the Mercs. Can we challenge them? Time will tell. Coming towards the end of lap 9, getting a little bit loose and lively out of Jung Sao there, but the Mercedes still comfortably out in front. They're both going to go for another lap here in this Brazilian Grand Prix. We are definitely going to dive into the pits, make sure we get it slowed down nice and tidy. Charles Leclerc going for another run as well here. I didn't expect us at the halfway stage to be one of the first people into the pit lane, but everyone seems to be going just a little bit longer here in this Brazilian Grand Prix. 2.7 seconds isn't too bad, but it's not too brilliant either. As now we've got to try and navigate our way back out of this notorious pit lane here, down out of the pits. We're going to be racing right towards the rear of the field by the looks of it. I think we're going to be right out next to one of the Alphas. It is going to be Kimi Räikkönen. We just come out ahead of there. Giovinazzi just in front of us, so we might have to try and make some moves on this lap because Charles Leclerc obviously was right behind us still before the pit stop window here, but we are looking like we're going to get stuck behind Gio as we head down in towards Sector 2 here. So this is not good for ourselves. This is probably why everyone else opted to just go a little bit longer in this Grand Prix. It's just look at that, stuck now behind in this little train of Grosjean, Magnussen and Giovinazzi here. Ferrari power not looking good at this stage of the season as we think about... Oh no, Gio just slams the door shut there. We're going to have to try and get a run out of the final corner. Just look how slow the Alpha is. We get a warning for track limits as Giovinazzi just sat in the way as we head out of the final couple of corners there. A load of cars now have dived in to the pit lane here. We need to try and get a good slingshot run as Giovinazzi dives into the pit lane there. Magnussen is the one that stays out of that little trio there, so we should be back up the order. Nice and late on the brakes in towards the first turn. But I think we had about upwards of 5 seconds over Lando before we dived into the pits. I'm intrigued to see how much that gap's come down to. It might have held about level as Magnussen, no speed, down in towards turn 4. No bravery on the brakes clearly as well from the Haasman. And we're back up into P8 of the Grand Prix. But Hamilton has pulled out another second over the pit stop window. All the top guys now into the pit lane, so Hamilton should re-inherit the lead of this Grand Prix as we just watched Danny Kvyat dive it in just in front of us here. But where is Charles Leclerc going to be in this Grand Prix? New fastest lap though. Wouldn't mind claiming the bonus point if possible. There is Charles Leclerc as we head through the S's there. He's going to get a bit of a better run through turn 3, but we are around him as actually all those guys seem to have lost out a bit of time there. So clearly taking those tyres just one lap too far in this Grand Prix. And now Bottas only a second in front of us. Hamilton's been given some breathing room, but maybe now we can still try and sneak away P2 here. Another new fast lap of the Grand Prix. This car really does seem to come alive later and later on in these races. I don't know whether it's just we settle down into a good rhythm as well here, but 5 laps to go here from Brazil. The gap to Bottas still floating around 1.5 seconds. We did make a small mistake last lap, which cost us a few tenths. This is not over just yet. 3 laps to go, then the gap's starting to hover around 1 second between myself and Valtteri Bottas. If we can start getting some DRS, hopefully we can close up that gap just a little bit closer here. But Hamilton looking comfortably out still in the lead of this Grand Prix. But this is almost feels like a bit of a test ready for Season 2 here. You know, next season we want to try and really take the fight to Mercedes. And now it's a case of trying to work out whether the car has what it takes to give the Mercs a run for their money here. They haven't really had any serious challenge. Obviously, apart from 2017 and 2018, where Ferrari gave them a good run for some of the season. This time around, though, we've come on even stronger in the latter stages of the World Championship here. Ever since, I would argue, Silverstone was probably quite a big turning point for us in this season here. But yeah, the gap to Bottas still coming down. Begin through Jung-Sao for the penultimate time in this Grand Prix. Bottas is really trying to start pushing now with just over 1 lap to go here from Brazil. You can see we're about half a second, less than a half a second back as we head over the start-finish line for the penultimate time in this Grand Prix. 1 lap from now, it will, of course, be the finish. Hamilton has looked in control all day long. After not getting pole, he got the lead at the start and has never really looked back here in Brazil. Obviously, the World Championship cannot go his way mathematically this year, but he can still finish a runner-up. As long as, obviously, he basically just needs to win both races and hope that I have a bit of a mare in these final 2 rounds as well. But trying to stick close to Bottas as we head up the hill. We've got good top-end speed. Maybe, just maybe, we can have a bit of a drag race out of the final couple of corners there. A bit wide as we head through turn 5, or turn 6 even, I should say. But now, yeah, really all over the back of the Mercedes gearbox there. We need to try and get a good run through these final couple of corners. Be as close as possible so we can try and get any sort of run on the Mercedes man here. The gap 0.3 of a second as we head in towards the final few corners. Can we get a good run out of Jung-Sao? We got a nice clean getaway out of the final proper corner of the lap. And look at that, we are gaining on Valtteri Bottas. Who's going to take it as we head up towards the finish line here? Bottas side by side, and we snatch it at the line from Valtteri Bottas. P2 in the end of the Brazilian Grand Prix. What a finish that was. Very, very happy with that one.
That's a spectacular victory then, and with it, the championship is secure. It's been a magnificent season, and they thoroughly deserve the cheers of the crowd here today. What do you think it was, Ant, that gave them the edge over the competition today?
I feel like consistency was probably the key today. There's being quick, and then there's being quick lap after lap after lap. If you can do that, you can capitalise on other people's errors without making many of your own. And that's an approach that can push you a long way up the field.
Mercedes are on top form once again after an excellent race weekend. It's great to see them up on that podium once again. Well, the gap at the top of the championship has been cut down after a difficult race today for our championship leader. After an incredible day of racing, who was your driver of the day, Ant?
I have to give it to Mr. Monaco. They fought so hard and had incredible pace at times, so I don't think anyone else did a better job today.
It's another clear win for Mercedes as they managed to secure the Constructors' title. An incredible performance for the whole team. It's been an absolutely wild weekend of Formula One action. I can't wait to see what's next.
So there we are then, guys, the end of the Brazilian Grand Prix, and boy did that get fun. Right and the dying stages there, 22 thousandths of a second between myself and Valtteri Bottas there, and the second year in a row a Mercedes has been in a drag race with another car and not made it to the flag in front here in Brazil. Hamilton, though, wins the Brazilian Grand Prix. They're ahead of myself and Valtteri Bottas. Charles Leclerc, a very decent result up in P4 there. Maybe Ferrari are back next season as well, who knows just yet. Lando, again, another decent result, 5th place, 10 points on the board, should help him out against Seb and Max with just one race to go there. Perez, Ricciardo, Albon, Ocon and Vettel round out the top 10 there ahead of Stroll and both of the Alpha Tauri's there. And I think, yeah, the only major surprise, of course, Max Verstappen not making it to the checkered flag this weekend. Their heartbreak for the Dutchman there. Championship-wise, though, 18 points the gap between myself and Lewis Hamilton with one race to go this season. So all we need from Abu Dhabi, sorry, even I should say, is 5th place. And therefore, irrespective of what Hamilton does, we will wrap up P2 in the Drivers' World Championship. So that is absolutely the aim with one race to go there. However, the battle for P5, 1 point between Sebastian Vettel and Lando Norris, and just 6 further points back to Max Verstappen as well there. That really could go all three ways in the final race of the season there. Max has looked like the quickest guy in recent weeks, but Lando, if he has a good result, could jump Seb as well there. So yeah, that is certainly going to be a battle to watch in the finale there. The same can be said for Ricciardo and Albon, tied on points with one race to go there. So whoever wins out of those two will pick up that better result as well there. Sergio Perez still in 10th place there. He's mathematically guaranteed that as well. I don't think he can't finish any higher. He can't finish any lower. 10th place, a decent job done by Sergio at the end of the season there. Esteban Ocon as well, getting the jump on fellow Frenchman Pierre Gasly with just one race to go as well there. But having a look constructors-wise though, we've now mathematically guaranteed P2. So very, very happy with that one there. The top four are all completely guaranteed. Pretty much the top. I don't think there's going to be any moves going on in the final race of the season. And no real battles going on in the Constructors' Championship as well there. But thank you all so much for watching once again. If you have enjoyed, do make sure you get yourself subscribed. Leave a like as well. It really does help me out. And we will be back very, very soon for the finale of Season 1. It's time for the Abu Dhabi Grand Prix. You guys do not want to miss it. A big thank you to our channel members for making these videos possible. You can be featured in these end clips as well as granted access to some other exclusive perks for just £1 a month by clicking the join button below.